Imagine yourself dressed in the most alluring and comfortable cashmere sweater you have ever touched. The soft, warm feeling of the sweater is indescribable and makes you long for more. It may not come to you as a surprise that this sweater is from Loro Piana, the Italian luxury brand known for its cashmere and wool products. But what really makes Loro Piana the most exclusive brand in the world? We will soon find out. Unfortunately, there is also a dark side of Loro Piana that is often not brought to light. This brand has been accused of animal cruelty, exploitation of workers, and other practices, but we'll come back to this later. For now, let's focus on how Loro Piana has become the ultimate status symbol in the industry fashion. So sit back, grab a drink, and let's discover what makes this brand so special. The beginning. We start with Pietro Loro Piana, a man with a vision. He had a dream to turn his small weaving mill in the Italian town of Corona Sesia into a large and successful company that produced luxury clothing and accessories. It was not an easy road, but through his determination and hard work, he succeeded in making his dream a reality. When Pietro was young, he worked in his father's weaving mill. It was a simple mill that produced mostly fabrics for the local market, but Pietro had always had a passion for quality and luxury products. He was fascinated by the world of fashion and wanted to create his own brand that would become synonymous with style and elegance. One day, he decided to start his own weaving mill. He borrowed some money from family members and began his adventure. In the beginning, it was not easy. Pietro had to do everything himself, weaving, selling, and even keeping the books. But he had a vision and was determined to succeed. His first breakthrough came when he managed to get a contract with a well-known designer from Milan. It was a big step forward, and Pietro began to slowly gain recognition in the fashion industry. His fabrics were of high quality, and he spent a lot of time and attention on the finishing and details. It wasn't long before Pietro began to experiment with new fabrics and techniques. He traveled abroad to gain inspiration and see how other manufacturers work. He was also looking for new ways to improve and innovate his products. Over time, Pietro became focused on cashmere, one of the most luxurious and expensive fabrics in the world. He knew there was a demand for high-quality cashmere products and began to experiment with different weaving techniques to create the perfect fabric. His hard work and dedication paid off, and soon his cashmere was considered the best in the world. Pietro's fabrics were used by some of the most well-known and prestigious brands in the fashion industry. But Pietro was not satisfied with just producing fabrics. He wanted to create his own brand and began designing his own clothing line. He founded his company under the name Loro Piana and began producing luxurious cashmere sweaters, scarves, and blankets. The rise of Loro Piana. The business began to flourish for Pietro Loro Piana and his small weaving company. His cashmere products were becoming increasingly popular, and he was gaining more recognition in the fashion world. But Pietro was not content with just a successful cashmere line. He had a larger vision and wanted to expand his company into new markets and develop new products. Pietro was always looking for ways to improve his products and find new customers. He decided to expand his business to the United States and open a store in New York. It was a big step forward for the company and gave Pietro access to a whole new group of customers. But he didn't stop at expanding his business to the US. He also began experimenting with new products such as silk and linen. He knew there was a demand for high-quality silk fabrics and started working on creating the perfect silk. It took a while for him to discover the right process, but eventually he succeeded in producing the highest quality silk. His efforts to find new markets and develop new products resulted in enormous growth for the company. But he didn't stop at expanding his own business. He also began looking at other companies he could acquire. He bought several small weaving companies and integrated them into his own company. This allowed him to scale up production and serve more customers. He also bought several clothing brands that fit well with his own brand. This allowed him to expand his business into new markets and offer more products to his customers. Pietro was a man with a vision, and he had the ability to make that vision a reality. He knew what he wanted and was determined to achieve his goals. But he was also a man with a sense of humor and loved to make jokes. One day, a customer came to him and said, "I hear you have the best cashmere there is, but I can't afford it. What should I do?" Pietro replied, "If you can't afford it, you can always look at it and dream." Pietro was a man who knew how to make people laugh, but he was also a man who knew how to run a business. His determination and hard work led to the rise of Loro Piana, one of the largest producers of luxury clothing and accessories in the world. Today, the company is still owned by the Loro Piana family and is still one of the most respected and well-known brands in the fashion industry. It is a tribute to Pietro's vision and hard work. Unfortunately, this beautiful story also has another side because although Loro Piana is known for its luxurious products, the company has also been accused of animal cruelty, and that's what we're going to look at now. Accusations of animal cruelty. It was a beautiful summer day in 2013 when the first rumors about Loro Piana began to circulate. The famous Italian luxury brand known for its high-quality cashmere products was accused of using fur from trapped wild animals in their products. The news was shocking and left the world stunned. It was like a slap in the face to all animal rights activists around the world. You could already feel the tension as the accusations began to circulate. Animal rights organization accused Loro Piana of illegally hunting and killing wild animals, including the beautiful vicuña, which is a type of llama found only in the highlands of the Andes. The company was said to be using the fur of these animals in their famous cashmere products. It was a shocking revelation that put the brand's reputation at risk, but it wasn't the first time that Loro Piana was in the eye of the storm. They had been previously accused of using fur from rare animals such as kangaroos and lynxes in their products. The question now was whether these new accusations were true, and if so, what the consequences would be for the company. The media was searching for answers, and the pressure on Loro Piana to come up with a statement grew day by day. It felt like the whole world was watching them, and when they finally responded, it was not enough to satisfy animal rights activists. They demanded that the company make their sources public and provide evidence that their cashmere products were produced in an ethical and sustainable manner. The criticism of Loro Piana continued, and it not only affected their reputation, also their business relationship with important clients and suppliers. Major retailers like Saks Fifth Avenue and Harrods decided to freeze their orders for Loro Piana products until the accusations were cleared up. It was clear that Loro Piana had to take action, and they hired an independent company to investigate their production chain. The investigation took months, and it eventually became clear that Loro Piana was indeed involved in illegally hunting and killing wild animals, including the vicuña. The company had to admit that some of their suppliers were not adhering to the rules for sustainable and ethical production. The consequences for Loro Piana were enormous. They were forced to invest in changes in their production chain and to find new suppliers who adhere to the ethical and sustainable standards required by animal rights activists and their customers. The company also lost a significant portion of its revenue due to the freezing of orders by major retailers. The future of Loro Piana. The past few years have had a tremendous impact on Loro Piana. After the scandal surrounding the use of wild animal fur, the company was forced to make changes in their production chain, and those changes have taken place. The company has committed to a more sustainable and ethical production and has taken important steps to restore its relationship with its customer. It was not an easy road to walk, but Loro Piana has proven that they are capable of change. The company has invested in new production processes and has found new suppliers who adhere to the ethical and sustainable standards that are so important to Loro Piana and their customer. The result is a company that has reinvented itself and is ready for the future that will be challenging for the wider luxury goods industry. There are many issues that we are facing, such as changes in the way people shop and what they want to buy. An important challenge for Loro Piana and other luxury brands is to ensure that their products are made in a fair and sustainable manner. This means that it is important that the products do not cause harm to nature or animals. More and more people consider this important when making purchases. So, it is not only important because it is good to protect nature and animals, but also because it is important for the company's economy. Loro Piana has a head start in this area as they have already taken important steps in recent years to make their production process more sustainable. But there is still a lot of work to be done. The company will have to continue to invest in sustainable production processes and will have to adapt to changing market conditions and consumer trends. But if there's one thing we can say about Loro Piana, is that they have always been at the forefront of the industry. They have always aimed for high quality and the most innovative products, and that will not change. Their dedication to quality and sustainability will only make them stronger in the future. And that is what is so great about Loro Piana. It's not just a brand, it is a lifestyle. It represents quality, craftsmanship, and sustainability. It is a symbol of what is possible when we continue to strive for the best and aim for change. And that is something to be proud of.